good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Monday night home health contract show here at Alternative Healthcare Career Group. This is your host, Bert De Vera, physical therapist since 1998, home health contract business owner since 2003. I know it's going 18 years now, right? So it's really a long time. I'm one of the veterans. But anyway, tonight we're going to have a great show. I'm going to talk to you about things that we can learn from the Super Bowl last night. For those of you who watched the game, it was actually one-sided, obviously, but there are a lot of things you can learn from that game that you can apply to your own business, and we're going to talk about that tonight. So it's a football topic night. Anyway, I'm not a football expert, but at least I can somehow tell you the things I've learned. These are my own opinion, and obviously you have your own opinion. And like I said, I'm not here to refute someone's team or put somebody down or pretend that I'm an expert on football, because I'm not. All right. But tonight, I'd like to welcome everyone in this show. If you are here joining us at Alternative Healthcare Career Group, please comment and say your name and where you're from. And if you have any questions regarding the home health contract show, tonight is the night to ask me those questions. All right. So first, I want to thank Mike Chua and Emma Shapiro for putting this show together. Thank you again for letting me do this every Monday night. I'm pretty sure we have a lot of colleagues that are learning from this show, learning about this business model, because let's face it, there's not a lot of business model out there that can be started as a side hustle. Most business models can, require a lot of money, especially if you're talking about brick and mortar, if you're talking about, having a building and all that. I have nothing against that. If you have the money to do so, you have the funds to do so, and that's what you want to do, hats off to you. Do what you got to do. All right. But for this show, for tonight, we are focusing on home health contract. And so to start off, I will show you a quick case study on how much profit did we make on this one referral. So we got this referral actually just today. We got this referral today. This is a 63-year-old male post-cabbage. We call it cabbage. I'm sure you know that. Coronary artery bypass graft, cabbage by 3. And patient was having some chest pains, angina. And come to find out, he was a ticking time bomb. When they saw him, they said, you got to go in quickly. So make the story short, patient went through heart surgery, did a triple bypass, and they referred to home health after the surgery. And then so the nursing came in, did the admission for home health, which is the Oasis. If you're not familiar with Oasis, it's the data collection for home health agencies to get paid through Medicare or even through insurance. You still have to do the Oasis, okay? So the question now is, how many visits are we authorized to do on these patients? Okay, and then out of those visits, how much are we going to charge and how much profit we're going to make? So we're going to break it down step by step. This is the time to grab your pen and paper if you want to learn how this business model works. The best way to learn how this works is to look into a case study. All right. Again, 63-year-old cabbage patient, post-cabbage patient referred to us for physical therapy. And I will show you in a little bit how many visits we have approved. So here we go. Share screen and share screen. Here we go. We're going to open it. And we're going to pick on that image. Boom. Okay. Can you see my screen? Yeah, I think you can. All right. So as you can see, this authorization was obtained February 2nd. That's the authorization number. And the start date is January 28th to March 24th. Okay. Now here on the left side, you have physical therapy, 1 for the evaluation, and then 11 right here for the follow-up visits. Same with the registered nurse or skilled nursing right here. So nursing and PT got 12 visits each, okay? 12 visits apiece. So obviously we're going to focus on physical therapy. How much money are we going to make on these 12 visits, and who's doing the work? Okay, so this is home health contracting at its best. I'm going to show you step by step how this model works and how much money we're going to make. So remember that number of visits, 12 visits, okay? 12 visits. So that's the auth. Now, how did we end up getting this before we break down the numbers? Did I market to the doctors? Did I market to the cardiologists? The answer is no, I did not. Did I market to this patient? No, I did not. Did I talk to this insurance company to give me an authorization? No, I did not. Okay, I didn't do all of those hard stuff. Okay, did I market to the hospital? No, I did not. All right, so how in the world did I get this patient? I got this patient, or my company got this patient, my contracting company got this patient because I have an existing contract with the home health agency. The home health agency marketed to the doctors, marketed to the hospitals, and spoke to the insurance to get the authorization. They did those hard work. I did not. All right. Am I going to bill this insurance? No, I am not. I will bill the agency straight up per visit for whatever contract we've agreed upon. And that's how my agency, or that's how my contract company makes money. And we're going to look into that in a little bit. So for now, remember this 12 visits. So they gave us 12 visits. All right. I have to block off this important information right here. These are the black ones in case you're wondering, for HIPAA compliance. Obviously, you know that, right? So, okay. So I'm going to stop sharing here, and we are going to pull up the calculator. All right. So let's pull up our calculator. Where are you? Here you go. Okay, so I'm going to share my calculator here, and we're going to break down the numbers. Share screen. Boom. Okay. Can you see my calculator? Yes? Yeah? Jennifer, if you can hear me, everything good? If you can just put something in the chat. Okay, good. All right. So remember the 12 visits, right? Authorized for PT. One visit is going to go to the PT supervisor who's doing the eval. Okay. One visit, where we go? Okay, here we go. So one visit goes to the PT doing the eval, and obviously another visit to the PT who's going to do the discharge. So minus one visit for the eval and another one visit for the discharge. How many visits you have left? 10. Okay, remember this number, 10 visits. This 10 visits now will go to the PTA, the PT assistant. Okay, all right. How much is the PT assistant getting paid, and how much are we billing? If you know those two numbers, it will show you the profit. I feel like I'm in the show with the profit. Anyway, we're talking about business. You better make a profit. Otherwise, if you don't make a profit in any business, you don't have a business. You have a hobby, right? So remember that. If you're not making a profit in your business, you don't have a business. You have a hobby. All right. So 10 visits to the PTA. Let's put this into zero. We charge the home health agency a minimum of $75. Here in Texas, at least, it's minimum 75. Now it can go up to 80, 85, even as high as $90, depending on your contract, depending on how you negotiated the contract. So let's be conservative. Let's say our contract is 75, okay? So $75 is what we bill the agency, and then we pay the PTA 45, okay? 45 is a competitive rate for a PTA, especially nowadays where there's not a whole lot of jobs available, right? What happens when you're working in a SNF and the census is low? They send you home, right? They send you home. You can't be hanging around. We can't pay you just sitting down because our census is low, or you have to use your PTO. That sucks. You don't want to use the PTO because you're saving that for your vacation, right? But sometimes they force you, or you got to go. You got to go home, right? So going back here, 75 minus 45, the profit now is $30 per PTA visit. Okay, you keep this profit as the owner of the company, of the contract company. So $30 per PTA visit multiplied by 10 visits. Remember the 10 visits? So in this referral, post-cabbage patient with 12 visits approved, the 10 visits that you're going to give to the PTA, you're going to make $300 profit. Okay? Now, this is just one referral. We get more than one referral, obviously, a month. Okay? So let's say, even if you just get 10 of these a month, 300 times 10 referrals, that's an income, extra income of $3,000 a month. Guys, I want you to see the power of this. When you are in a position where you can accept referrals from home health agencies and you're making $200, $300 per referral profit, meaning you're not doing all the work, okay? That might sound bad, but it's really not, okay? Because you're not doing all the work, because now you're giving work to our colleagues who are trying to make ends meet, okay? You are like an angel to a PTA or a CODA who doesn't have enough work available because of the current changes. Now you're giving this PTA and CODA some work, so you help them. You're helping them, make ends meet. So don't feel guilty that you're making a profit, because before you made a profit, you helped someone. Do you see my point? So if you're a therapist and you cringe whenever you hear the word profit, oh, you're profiting from others. Oh, shut up. Okay? Wherever you work, they have to profit off of you. Don't be this self-righteous, holier than thou therapist. If you are, I respect you for having that mentality, but I don't agree with you, and we can agree to disagree. Okay? If you think that wherever you're working right now, your employer is only breaking even, you're so naive. They don't hire you to break even. They have to make a profit. So if your employer is making a profit, why would you feel bad if you, the therapist, should make a profit? What is wrong with that? What is wrong with making an honest buck? There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Everything in this world, okay, it has, at some point, it has to make a profit. You buy gas, the gas station has to make a profit. You buy groceries, that grocery store has to make a profit to keep the doors open. You go to your doctor has to make a profit. You pay your whatever, your what do you call that? Your part on your insurance. You're out of pocket, right? Wherever you work, there has to be some sort of profit, okay? Because if there's no profit, there's no business. You have a hobby. So if you have a problem with profit, that's the first thing you have to change. That mindset. It's okay, because it's being done honestly. Now, if you do it dishonestly, then that's a problem. All right? So again, if you're in a position, you have a company, a home health contract company that can accept referrals like this, even if you only have 10, 20 of them, that's a lot of money that you can use. $300, 10 referrals is $3,000 a month. Multiply that by 20 referrals, you get $6,000 a month. That's about $72,000 a year. That's about the average pay of a PT, especially fresh grad ones, or OT, or SLP, okay? Can you make $72,000 a year profit if you're just working for someone? Of course not. Obviously not. That's a rhetorical question, right? You have to put in your time. You have to clock in, clock out before you make 72 grand, right? What is the average pay for therapists now? $35, $40 an hour, and still not guaranteed, okay? So I just want you to understand the power of having a business, the power of having another source of income besides your job. Okay, so $300 is your profit. Again, let's recap. You have 12 visits minus 2 visits for the eval and the discharge. You have 10 visits to the PTA, okay, times $75. That's $750 you're charging, but you're only paying the PTA $450 total, $45 a visit for the 10 visits. You make $300. Okay, so any questions on this? This is the time to ask me any questions. Okay, because I'm about to talk about football, like how does football apply to my business, your current situation. Okay, here's how it applies. So this is what I've learned from the Super Bowl last night. Okay, that game was won by Tampa Bay Buccaneers, obviously. Congratulations. And for every game, someone has to win and someone has to lose. That's just the nature of it, right? So my observation is this: Tampa Bay had more offense in mind and more defense in mind to win the game. If you read the news today, Tom Brady was texting his teammates prior to the game almost every night, telling them, we can win this game, and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to win this game. This is how we're going to do it. Okay? That if you keep pushing forward after they tackle you, you're going to gain yards because, according to Tom Brady, they are soft. They can't stop you. Okay? Well, they stop you at some point, but you're going to gain yards. Okay? So the first thing I've learned here is having more than one offense and having more than one defense. Okay? I was telling my friends this game is going to be won by defense because there's no doubt two of them are great quarterbacks. Okay? And they never face each other. No quarterbacks face each other. Okay? It's always about the skill of the quarterback and the defense of the other team. So to me, every football game is always won by how great the defense is. Okay? Now, how does this translate in our career as therapists? Okay? Look at your source of income right now as a defense and an offense. What do I mean by that? If you have a job and that is your main source of income, you only have one offense. Okay? One offense in a sense where everything you make from your job is what you use to pay stuff, bills, student loans, whatever. Okay? In case of calamity, okay, then hopefully you have some savings, then you pull from that income that you have in your job. Okay? Problem is, you also only have one defense. What do I mean by that? Should you get furloughed or should you get laid off from your job, do you have another offense? Do you have another source of income? If your answer is no, then I encourage you to start thinking, what is your plan B? What other offense can you come up with? All right, because right now, having one source of income is like having one offense and one defense. At some point, when that one offense and one defense gets knocked out, you're out. Okay? You're going to have to scramble looking for another source of income. And I'm pretty sure a lot of us here at Alternative Healthcare Career Group is in this group. You're in this group because you're looking for another source of income or another means to make money. All right? Now, if you're a therapist and you're thinking of other sources of income besides being a therapist, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'd like to encourage you not to throw in the towel yet. Maybe what you need is just another sort of offense so you can come up with more defense. Okay? What do I mean by that? What else can you do with your career as a therapist besides working on a job? Okay? How else can you utilize your skills as a PT, OT, SLP, PTA, CODA to make more money? What else can you do? All right? Have you asked yourself that question? Okay? If you did, well, congrats to you. Now, have you broken down the stuff that are possible for you to do? Okay. Now, once you've identified those stuff, the next question is, do you believe you can do them? Because that's the number one, okay, that's the number one factor that you have to have and overcome, the belief in yourself. Tom Brady's teammates said this: Tom made us believe. Tom made us believe that we're going to win this game. All right. So belief is so important. And I did a post last week, I think a couple of weeks ago, and it's about where is your grit. Okay. I've offended some people, and I'm sorry about that. I don't mean to offend you, but I've also encouraged a lot of people. It's like a wake-up call. And to me, if I've encouraged someone, even just a single person with what I said, that's enough for me. I've done my job. And if I've offended you, that's also okay with me, because I cannot please everyone. And that's okay, because the moment you try to please everyone, you're done. You're done, because you'll never know what you want in life because you're trying to please everybody. So for those I offended, I'm sorry, but I'm also not gonna, retract what I said. That's just my opinion. That's my belief. You gotta have grit. You gotta make it happen. And yes, I agree with some of you. There are different forms of grit. And yes, I'm not discounting what you do or what you did. Keep it going. If you still have your grit, make it work for you. I'm not saying your grit is nothing. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying keep using that grit. Okay? It's like a grit that Tampa Bay Buccaneers needed. They were not the top seed. Okay? They were like number 5 before the playoffs. But they had the grit. They had the grit to make it happen and make it to Super Bowl and won the championship. It took a lot of grit. It took a lot of belief. All right? And that's all I'm saying, guys. Have that belief in yourself to make things happen. Forget the victim mentality. We've all been victims at one point. Again, I'm not discounting anyone's situation. We all have our hardship. You have your share, I had my share. And this is not about, okay, I had more hardship than you, or you had more hardships than me. No. You cannot dwell in the past. Okay? You have to move forward. What can you do now? All right? What can you do now to make things happen for you? What are the other strategies you can do? If you're a PT, OT, SLP, you're a therapist, you still want to use something that has to do with therapy, guess what? You have a lot of options. You can do home health contracting. If you don't want this, you can do mobile Medicare Part B. If you don't want that, you can do a wellness program. If you don't want that, you can do telehealth. You name it. You can do cash-based, whatever it is that you think will suit you, suit your personality, and give you a profit. And do it. Give it a shot. Okay? Give it a shot. I'm challenging you right now. Give it a shot, because you owe it to yourself to give it a shot. Okay? Super Bowl champions, it just doesn't happen just overnight. They have to work hard for it, right? And they did the work. So in anything, you have to put in the work. Okay? I had to put in the work. And I'm not here to brag about my business. Oh, my business is so good. I have a business, you don't, and all that. Hell no. I'm not here to say that I'm better than you. I'm just an ordinary person, like a therapist just like you. But however, I decided what I wanted in life. I don't want to be a slave to a job until I'm 65 or 67 and start enjoying life. I decided not to have that kind of life. And that's just me. Okay, that's my personal choice. If that is your choice, then do something about it. Okay, if someone chooses not to be a slave to their job until they're 65 or 67 like me, don't hate me for it. All right? Don't hate me for it because I chose to have a business. Learn something if you want to. Now, if you don't want business, hey, I respect you for that. I'm not saying that if you don't have a business that I'm better than you. Hell no. I'm just saying I chose this path. If you want to choose this path and you need some help, then I can help you. If it's not me, then maybe somebody else. All right? The owner of Tampa Bay Buccaneers was asked, Can you comment on this championship? Can you say something? And do you know what he said? He quoted his dad. He said, "My dad always told me, if you want to know what's ahead down the road, ask the person who's been through it." And we asked the person and we got the person, and that's Tom Brady. 6-time Super Bowl champion and the 7th time for the win. Same thing, guys. If you want to do something, ask the person who's been through it. Why do I mentor other therapists to do home health contracting, and why are they successful? Because I've been doing this for the past 18 years. Okay, I taught them the how, the what, the who, and the execution. Okay, because this is my cup of tea, home health contracting. I'm probably the only one you see out there teaching this model, because most therapists who do this on the side or who have this kind of business, they probably don't want to share it. I'm probably the only one, right? And I'm saying this again, not to brag about myself, but to make a point that if you want to do something and do it right, ask the person who's done it before. If you want to do outpatient brick and mortar, hats off to you. Ask someone who has a very successful practice. If you want to do cash-based, ask someone who has done cash-based practice and very good at it. If you want to do telehealth, ask someone who's very good at telehealth and still doing it. Okay? Don't ask someone who doesn't know anything about it, or don't try to wing it yourself and go through the trial and error and waste time and go through the headache. But if that's what you want to do, then hey, to each his own, right? If you want to save money instead of saving time, I want to make a point on that. Some people want to save money by not paying a coach, not paying a mentor, but they don't take into factor the time. The time it's going to take you is going to take longer. You're going to go through trials and errors and headaches, because now you're going to go through fire. Whereas if you pay someone who's done it before, right, who's been through it, guess what? That person will save you a lot of time. That person will save you a lot of headache. Will you exchange money for time? Hell yeah, I'll do it anytime. You know why? You can always make money, but you can never recycle time. The time I'm spending with you right now, I won't get this back. After an hour, this is done. This is in the books. I'm not going to get this back. Okay? You can always make money, but you can never recycle time. If you're in the last chapter of your therapy career, this is the time to think about it. If you give it one more shot and you want to try something that will help you turn your career around, find someone who's done it to help you. If they charge you, obviously that's okay, because you're using their time, you're using their expertise. You didn't go to PT school for free, did you? You probably still have student loans. So if you paid hundreds of thousands for these professors to teach you to be a physical therapist, why would you hesitate to pay a coach to teach you how to do the business right? Is there something wrong with paying someone to teach you how to do business right? As if paying a coach or paying a mentor is wrong and paying a student loan with hundreds of thousands of dollars is right. Doesn't make sense, right? So if you're being cheap or being stingy and you want to do it on your own, that's okay. Again, I'm not putting you down. You just be ready to go through the fire. You have to spend a lot of time. All right? Okay, enough with my rant. I'm sorry, I got carried away. But anyways, so I hope you're learning something from tonight, guys. It's 9 o'clock. We're halfway through our show. We're going to go into a quick, short break. But when I get back, I will talk to you about the number one thing, the number one reason why a lot of therapists don't want to try something new. Okay? Why do a lot of therapists don't want to try business, don't want to try to do something different besides working on a job? Why do therapists settle for a job 90% of the time? We're going to go into a short break, and I'll see you shortly.
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.
Well, that was a quick break. It's really quick, right? So, okay. So we're going to talk about what is the number one thing that prohibits or hinders therapists in starting their own business. Whatever it is. It doesn't matter if it's home health, doesn't matter, if it's telehealth, cash-based, outpatient, whatever it is. What is the number one thing that keeps therapists from doing it? You know the answer? It's the fear of the unknown, okay? It's the fear of the unknown. It's the fear of what if I fail? It's the fear of what if it doesn't work out, okay? And it's a valid fear because, again, it's uncharted waters. You'll never know if it's going to work out for you. You'll never know, if it's going to be successful. However, because you decided not to give it a try, if you decided not to give it a try, not give it a chance, then you already failed. You already got what you're fearing for, which is failure, right? And this reminds me of what Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, his quote was, "I'm not afraid of failure. Everybody fails at some point, but I'm always afraid of not giving it a try." Okay? What do you think made the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play their hearts out? What do you think made them believe that they can win the Super Bowl? Because they had Tom Brady on their side. He's been there 6 times. Gronkowski, been with Tom Brady, right? So 2 players with Super Bowl experience. Those 2 people helped them ease their fears. Guys, basically they told them, guys, we've been here before. I've had it 6 times. Okay, I just want you to know, calm down. We're going to win this. I bet you everyone in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers football club, football organization listens to every word that Tom Brady said. Okay? He earned their respect because, golly, 6 Super Bowls, right? So, in order for you to overcome your fear, you have to look at someone who's done what you want to do, because they can show you the path. They can tell you that down the road, this is what you're going to see. They can tell you down the road, this is what you're going to go through. All right? As opposed to going there on your own without any clue, obviously the fear is going to be higher, right? So, with that said, I want to challenge you. Ask yourself tonight, what else can I do besides what I have right now? Okay? And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me right now. Ask me any questions. And for those of you who want to know more about home health contracting, how it works, Jennifer, my colleague and assistant in the background helping me tonight's show, will post the link right here. Jennifer, if you can post where they can get the free videos. You can learn how to start your own home health contract business if you go to rehabpreneur.com/Mike Chua. Okay, so there's 4 videos in there. It will show you the cash flow quadrant, how it works, show you the breakdown of the money, and the stuff that you can learn should you decide to get into my mentorship program. Okay, because I've mentored a lot of colleagues on how to do this. and you will see their videos as well on how they made it happen. And so you can see their testimonials on the website. Okay, so if you have any question, please feel free to ask me right now. If not, I will go through the most commonly asked questions. Okay, one of the most common questions I get is this: Hey Bert, do we need Medicare credentialing? Do we need Medicare credentialing to do home health contracting? The answer is no. You don't need medical credentialing because this is not Medicare Part B. This is Part A, and we are subcontracting with the home health agencies. So none of your staff, even yourself, you don't need any medical or Medicare credentialing. Okay? The second mostly asked question: do we need a professional liability insurance? The answer is yes. Each of my staff, they have their own professional liability insurance because you need to cover yourself wherever you work. As a matter of fact, even if you don't do home health contracting, or even if you don't do home health work as a PRN, you ought to have a professional liability insurance because lawyers are not cheap. So if you get sued, you'll need a lawyer, right? And how much is a professional liability insurance? It probably costs what, 170 to 180 a year. So that's a year. So that's just what? That's not even, half of what you spend eating out a year. Okay, probably twice of eating out. You have your own professional liability insurance, and it's a business deduction, or you can deduct it at the end of the year, as far as I know. I may be wrong, but ask your accountant. All right. But it's good to have a professional liability insurance because, again, it covers you wherever you go. Case in point, there's this true case where a PT was treating a patient in a SNF. The patient fell, and the patient's family sued the SNF. They won, and then the SNF turned around and sued the PT. So that PT had to get a lawyer to defend himself. All right, so that's just one scenario. So whether you do this or not, or any other practice, please get your professional liability insurance. That's just my opinion. If you don't want to do it, that's totally up to you. But to me, it's worth the money. Okay. So the other questions, or most commonly questions I get is, okay, how do you know what agencies to contract with? Okay, how do you know what agencies to contract with? Because obviously you don't contract with a lot of agencies or every single agency. Okay, so the way I know who to contract with is I do my research and make sure that the agency I'm going to contract with has at least 2.5 or 3 stars, if not higher, 4 stars rating in their review. Okay, there's a website where you can find that out. And there's also a website where you can find out how many agencies are in your area. Okay, and I teach that in my mentorship program. All right. The other most commonly asked question is, okay, so how do you know which therapist to hire? Okay, because obviously I don't hire everyone. You only need one bad therapist in your group to pull you down. So I look for certain characteristics in every hire. Okay. Number one, and I say this a lot, we are clinicians first. I'm a clinician first, okay? I signed up for this as a PT since 1998, going, 23 years now, right? So we are clinicians first. I make sure that whoever I hire is conscientious and they take care about our patients first, okay? If you do what's right, money will follow. Okay, it's not the other way around. Okay, so we are clinicians first. I want to make sure that whoever I hire, okay, has compassion to our patients, because at the end of the day, results don't lie. It's the results that our patients show after we treat them. It's the improvement or the quality of life. That's what matters. All right. But then again, behind that, you can do business, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, if your employer can make a profit, then why can't you make your own profit, right? So, but the number one thing I look for whenever I interview someone is the character. Okay, You can always teach skills. You can teach any kind of skills, dementia, vertigo, ortho, neuro, whatever it is. But it's hard to change a character, okay? A good character. If someone doesn't have a good character, no matter how skillful they are, no matter how many letters they have after their name, I don't care. I'm not gonna hire you, okay? But if you have great character and you're willing to learn, because I can teach you skills, I can teach you everything about, patient care and all that, everything that I know, all right? But if your character sucks, that's a tall order, okay? That's tough, all right? So those are the things I look for. All right, what else? Do we have any questions, Jenny? Any questions from Facebook or YouTube? Let me see. Okay, so if you want to text me and chat with me, and if this is something that you want to do after you watch the videos, you can actually reach me directly. You can text me at 972-649-9909, 972-649-9909. All right, so that's my direct line. It'll go to my cell phone, and I will be the one answering you directly. And then we can chat. You can text back and forth, and then if we need to jump into a call, we're gonna jump into a call. Now, if you want to schedule a call with me, a free call, I can talk to you for 15 minutes and see how can I help you. You can go to speaktobert.com. Speaktobert.com. That will show you my calendar. You can pick the day, you can pick the time, and we'll set up a call. All right? Okay, so I hope you guys learned something tonight. And if you have any further questions down the road, send it to me, text it to me, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. Thank you again. This is your host, Bert De Vera, physical therapist since 1998, home health contract business owner since 2003. Thank you for joining us tonight at the Home Health Contract Show. And I will leave you with the quote I heard last night from the owner of Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you want to know what's ahead down the road, ask the person who's been through it. With that, I'm going to leave you with positive vibes. Wish you well, and hopefully you learn a lot from this. Good night.